Second Lady Usha Vance and Vice President J.D. Vance have just announced that they are expecting another child at the end of this summer. This will be the first time a sitting Second Lady is going to give birth while...
The instant Erika Kirk discovered Usha Vance's pregnancy, her complete universe shattered into pieces because that singular revelation obliterated all her meticulously crafted schemes to claim her spot as the next Second Lady. But that's not even the wildest component of this drama, because Usha's pregnancy did way more than demolish Erika's fantasies. It launched her straight into absolute fury, and now she's on a crusade to wreck the Vances' relationship. According to insiders, she's already assembling evidence of her supposed affair with JD, and she's prepared to expose everything to mainstream outlets if that's what it takes to seek revenge on him.
Kirk is shaking because she thought for even 2 seconds that she was about to get Usha's man, as he's probably going to be the new presidential candidate in the next election.
And now that everything surfaced publicly, Usha is having the ultimate victory, because for a brief moment there, it appeared like she was going to lose her marriage and everything she'd built. Which brings us to the inquiry everyone's silently pondering. Is Usha's conveniently timed pregnancy reveal just covering for something JD's concealing? So we've all witnessed the major reveal. Usha and JD Vance are expecting their 4th baby. However, while everyone's celebrating them on the fantastic announcement, somebody's out there absolutely spiraling, because this pregnancy is the absolute last thing they anticipated hearing, and that individual is none other than Erika Kirk. According to insiders, Erika is crashing out right now because she's interpreting this pregnancy reveal personally, like it's a targeted strike.
How many kids did you guys want to have?
We wanted to have 4. And I was praying to God that I was pregnant when he got murdered.
Erika isn't just crushed at the announcement, she's absolutely livid, because Erika has dedicated the past several months wishing she were the one carrying a child. Shortly after Charlie's passing, she appeared on an interview with Megyn Kelly, where she went on endlessly about how desperately she'd hoped she was pregnant with their 3rd baby. Now initially, Erika's inner circle and supporters attempted to frame this as a touching moment. You know, Erika longing for one final piece of her late husband that she could adore and treasure. However, others who'd been monitoring her since Charlie's death understood it wasn't about that whatsoever. Between her manufactured tears and staged presentations, they recognized her pregnancy desire had nothing to do with honoring her husband's legacy. She wanted a pregnancy to soft launch the next phase of her career as a MAGA spokesperson and political opportunist. But the responses that genuinely captured people's attention were the ones suggesting that Erika mentioned the pregnancy thing to soft launch her baby with JD Vance. And those responses must have struck way too close to reality, because the instant those whispers started intensifying, Erika went on the defensive.
You did get married.
Yes.
You have 2 kids.
2 precious babies.
And you told me this in private, but how many kids did you guys want to have?
We wanted to have 4. And I was praying to God that I was pregnant when he got murdered.
Oh, wow. I thought of that once. Just like whether it was meant to be or whether we'd get news like that.
But before we dive into what Erika genuinely stated, we need to discuss why this announcement is so crushing for her. See, it's not just about Erika comprehending she no longer possesses a shot with JD. It's the reality that she literally gambled everything to position herself as the optimal match for him. I mean, Usha was in the crowd when she embraced JD in front of thousands. And if you monitor that footage more carefully, you'll observe that Erika was the one advancing for the embrace, while JD was just following her direction.
There's a thought that maybe Usha's pregnancy announcement will finally put the rumors of an affair between Erika and Vice President JD Vance to rest. Maybe?
Probably not to make the complete thing appear too uncomfortable for her. Erika's body movement screamed territorial. Mind you, this was directly after she compared JD to her husband, discussing how she detected similarities between both of them. It was like she was conducting a public casting call for Charlie's position and had determined that JD was the flawless candidate. But what was even more outrageous was the reality that Erika thought all of this was just so hilarious. When she received the opportunity to finally address the embrace and establish a definitive stance that she wasn't pursuing JD, she just didn't. She dismissed it as comedy, attempted to make it appear like viewers were overreacting, even when we all witnessed what she executed. And despite all the criticism she received from this, she never once retracted. It didn't matter that her standing was on the line or that viewers were starting to question her parenting capabilities, even questioning her ability to lead TPUSA. The digital world was spiraling with theories about what was genuinely materializing behind closed doors. Some viewers were declaring Erika had completely lost contact with reality, while others suspected she understood exactly what she was executing and was playing a calculated game. Regardless, the optics were absolutely terrible. Twitter discussions were surfacing left and right, dissecting every instant of that embrace frame by frame. Viewers were analyzing the angle of her lean, the duration of the contact, and even the expression on JD's face. Some eagle-eyed observers noticed that JD seemed uncomfortable, like he was attempting to withdraw without making it obvious. And then there was Usha's reaction in the background. Some claimed she appeared unbothered, while others insisted they detected a flash of something darker crossing her face. The complete situation became a breeding ground for wild speculation. Conservative commentators were divided completely, some defending Erika as a grieving widow who was just seeking comfort, while others called her out for crossing boundaries. Liberal outlets had a field day with it, utilizing the incident to portray the entire MAGA movement as chaotic and dysfunctional. Meanwhile, Erika's social platforms were being flooded with responses ranging from supportive to absolutely brutal. Her defenders kept uploading things like, "Leave her alone, she's grieving," and "This is just a normal hug between friends." But the critics weren't accepting it. They kept uploading side-by-side comparisons of Erika embracing other individuals versus how she embraced JD, and the difference was night and day. With everyone else, she maintained appropriate distance and kept it brief. With JD, she was practically melting into him. Some viewers even started creating memes about the complete situation, which only made things worse. There were GIFs of Erika's facial expressions during the embrace, captioned with things that definitely weren't helping her case. The complete internet was basically roasting her, and yet she still refused to address it properly.
Did you see people didn't understand the hug that you and JD had? They went to the weirdest places, Erika.
Oh my gosh. You guys, please. So for those of you who know me, I hug is
Yes,
like.
you're an intense hugger. It's
whoever-
awesome.
Now here's where it gets bewildering. For a brief moment, it seemed like Erika's scheme to have JD all to herself was succeeding because Usha suddenly started appearing like she had mentally checked out of the marriage and JD was returning the energy. Viewers initially thought that Usha had discovered about Erika and JD's. Viewers were fabricating things out of thin air either. As you can observe from this photo, Usha appears to have exhausted eyes, washed out complexion, and her face appears drawn like she hasn't eaten or slept in days. Viewers were so shocked because this wasn't the identical woman who stood beside JD during his campaign. That woman appeared energized, confident, and polished. This woman appeared broken. The transformation was genuinely concerning to many observers. Fashion bloggers who had previously praised Usha's elegant style were now uploading worried articles about her appearance. Mental health advocates were weighing in, suggesting she might be dealing with severe stress or depression. Political analysts were speculating that the pressures of being second lady were too much for her to handle. Some even suggested that she never wanted this existence in the first place and was only going along with it for JD's sake. The rumors started flying fast. Was she having a breakdown? Was the marriage genuinely on the rocks? Was Erika Kirk actually succeeding in her alleged scheme to replace her? It didn't help that around the identical time, photos of Usha and JD appearing estranged resurfaced. At different official gatherings, Usha and JD appeared more like strangers or at best colleagues. There was no hand-holding, no loving glances, no subtle touches that married couples usually share. They stood beside each other like business partners at a board meeting, not like a husband and wife who supposedly loved each other. Body language specialists were having a field day analyzing their interactions. One specialist highlighted that they consistently maintained at least a foot of distance between them, even when posing for photos. Another noted that their smiles never reached their eyes when they looked at each other. The lack of physical affection was glaring, especially compared to other political couples who were constantly showing their connection. And just when viewers thought things couldn't get more awkward, JD then made matters worse when he went public and declared that he wished Usha would convert to Christianity, dismissing her Hindu faith and upbringing. That statement sent shockwaves through both religious and political communities. Hindu advocacy groups were outraged, calling his responses disrespectful and culturally insensitive. Political commentators were questioning what this meant for his ability to represent all Americans, and relationship specialists were highlighting that publicly wishing your spouse would change their fundamental beliefs is a huge warning sign. It suggested deep incompatibility and a lack of respect for her identity. Some viewers even started questioning whether their marriage had been a political arrangement from the start.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
At this point, Erika was already super excited because if JD wanted a Christian woman to stand beside him, who better than her? I mean, her entire social platform presence is constructed around her being a good Christian wife and mother. And when Usha herself stopped wearing her ring when she stepped out for second lady duties, Erika interpreted that as the final confirmation. She had secured the role of the next Mrs. Vance. In her mind, everything was falling into place perfectly. The signs were all there. JD publicly expressing dissatisfaction with his current wife's religion, Usha appearing miserable and withdrawn, the missing wedding ring, the physical distance between them at public gatherings. Erika probably started mentally redecorating the VP residence. She was likely already planning her wardrobe for official functions, practicing her wave for cameras, and rehearsing speeches about faith and family values. Sources close to her circle claim she was dropping hints about exciting new chapters and unexpected blessings on the horizon. Her behavior became increasingly bold during this period. She started responding on JD's social platform uploads more frequently, always with supportive messages that seemed just a little too familiar. She made sure to be photographed at gatherings where she knew he'd be present. She gave interviews where she'd casually reference his identity, always with glowing praise about his leadership and character. It was like she was already auditioning for the role of his next wife, and she wasn't even attempting to be subtle about it anymore. Her supporters were hyping her up, informing her she'd be perfect for the role. They'd upload things like, "Erika would make such a better second lady," and "JD deserves someone who shares his values." The MAGA crowd was eating it up, with many openly speculating about when the divorce announcement would drop and when JD and Erika would make their relationship official. And when all of it came crashing down barely 2 months afterward, Erika couldn't handle it whatsoever. According to insiders, Erika has been losing it since this pregnancy announcement. It was like her entire fantasy world shattered in an instant. One minute she was riding high, convinced she was about to step into one of the most powerful positions in the country, and the next minute she was facing the brutal reality that she'd been delusional the entire time. The pregnancy announcement struck her like a freight train, because it wasn't just about Usha being pregnant, it was about what that pregnancy represented. It meant that despite all the rumors, despite the public distance, despite the missing ring and the exhausted appearance, Usha and JD were still very much together. Not only were they together, but they were intimate enough to create another life. The pregnancy proved that whatever issues they might have been having, they were working through them privately. And most importantly, it proved that Erika had never been in the running whatsoever.
Dear Diary, today started off as the worst day of my life. Oh, when I woke up to this morning, the first thing I saw was JD's pregnancy announcement.
Now, she's gone from being angry to getting in revenge mode. It's no longer enough for her to stew at home. She allegedly also wants to expose JD and ruin whatever is left of his marriage. Because if what insiders are declaring right now is authentic, then she's already gathering all the receipts she possesses with JD. Everything from text exchanges, screenshots, emails, intimate photos, and flight records, stuff that could ruin many individuals' reputations if they ever became public. According to sources, she's been combing through her phone, her computer, her cloud storage, searching for anything and everything that could prove there was something more than just friendship between them. Some insiders claim she's even reached out to mutual acquaintances, attempting to get them to confirm details about times they were alone together. She's allegedly creating a timeline of their interactions, marking every phone call, every meeting, every gathering where they crossed paths. It's obsessive behavior that's raising serious concerns among individuals who know her. But what's interesting is that Erika seems to be the only one having this reaction, and the reason for this might be shocking. Now this is where the speculations take a wild turn. As viewers are monitoring Erika crash out, some are wondering if there's an ulterior motive behind the timing of Usha's pregnancy announcement, something that has nothing to do with Erika whatsoever. Before viewers dismiss this theory, remember that public figures don't usually announce their pregnancies until at least after the first trimester. Going by that calculation, Usha has likely been pregnant since September. This means while Erika was cuddling with JD, while all the divorce rumors were ongoing, while Usha was publicly disassociating from JD as if they were on the verge of divorce, she already knew she was pregnant. Which brings us to the inquiry, why did she choose to announce now? And the timing is interesting because there's been all these rumors about JD's career and MAGA politics. Some insiders are now declaring that Erika getting put in her place is just a happy coincidence. If that's the case, then it shows how little Usha and JD were taking Erika's little schemes and plots in the first place. There was never any real risk. JD was never going to leave Usha, and Erika was the only one holding on to the delusion. They were probably laughing about it behind closed doors, monitoring Erika make a fool of herself, while they knew the complete time that Usha was carrying their fourth child. The strategic timing of the announcement suggests a level of calculation that's honestly impressive. Think about it. They waited until Erika had fully committed to her delusion, until she'd made enough public moves that she couldn't easily back down. They let the rumors swirl, let Erika dig herself deeper and deeper, and then dropped the pregnancy bomb at the perfect moment for maximum impact. It's like they were playing chess while Erika was playing checkers. And now Erika's sitting there realizing she's been played, that every sign she thought pointed to her becoming the next Mrs. Vance was actually just normal marriage struggles that had nothing to do with her. The missing ring? Probably just forgot to put it on that day. The exhausted appearance? Probably first trimester exhaustion. The public distance? Probably just attempting to maintain professional boundaries at official gatherings. However, here's the component viewers can't get over. If Erika genuinely possessed the type of receipts she's been hinting at, they would have dropped already, and the reality that she's still threatening instead of publishing says more than anything she's declared so far. Real evidence doesn't require a countdown or a dramatic buildup. If she possessed text exchanges where JD was declaring his love for her, they'd be on TMZ by now. If she possessed photos of them in compromising positions, they'd be plastered all over the internet. If she possessed emails discussing leaving Usha, they'd be making headlines everywhere. But instead, all we're receiving is vague threats and hints about receipts that mysteriously never materialize. It's giving major "the check is in the mail" energy. She's been declaring she's going to expose everything for weeks now, but nothing is actually dropped. That informs you everything you need to understand about the validity of her claims. Meanwhile, Usha hasn't reacted, JD isn't flinching, and that informs you who is actually in control the complete time. They're not scrambling to get ahead of any scandal. They're not issuing statements or hiring crisis PR squads. They're just living their existence, uploading cute pregnancy updates, and completely ignoring Erika's meltdown. Their silence is honestly more damaging to Erika's credibility than any statement could be. Because if there was any truth to her claims, they'd be panicking right now. They'd be doing damage control, threatening legal action, attempting to discredit her. But they're not executing any of that because they understand there's nothing to worry about. So now, Erika's left with nothing but screenshots she hasn't shown, a role she never possessed, and a narrative that only matters if someone else confirms it. And until that materializes, this isn't an exposed affair, it's just one woman realizing very publicly that she was never a component of the plan. The internet is having a field day with this complete situation. Memes are flying, commentary footages are racking up millions of views, and everyone's got an opinion. Some viewers feel sorry for Erika, declaring she's clearly going through something and requires professional help. Others think she's a calculated manipulator who's getting exactly what she deserves. But one thing's for sure, this saga has exposed a lot about ambition, delusion, and what materializes when somebody gets so caught up in their own fantasy that they lose contact with reality. Erika constructed an entire alternate universe in her head where she was going to be the next second lady, and now she's monitoring that universe collapse around her while the real second lady prepares to welcome her fourth child.